I want to ask you something and I want you to answer it honestly. If your most senior manager handed in their notice tomorrow, what would you actually do? Hi, I'm Michelle Pascoe, and if you're a CEO, GM, or board member in the club or hospitality industry, then this channel is for you. I've spent over 30 years working with venues across Australia, building leadership cultures that last beyond the people currently sitting at the top of them. If that's something you want to talk about, head to michellepascoe.com. The Middle Management Movement programs is where most clubs start. And for those who are ready to go further, then I have the Executive Leadership Movement is the next step, as well as specific personalized leadership coaching. Now, let's talk about what actually building a pipeline looks like in practice, because it's not as complicated as people make out. The mistake I see most often is treating a pipeline as a planning exercise, something that gets discussed at a board strategy day, written into a document, and then filed away with a big tick. Now, a real leadership pipeline isn't a document. It's something that's happening in your venue right now, or it isn't. And that's the difference. It shows up in the moment you need it. So here's what it actually looks like on the ground. The first thing is having a genuine conversation with your middle managers about where they want to be, not a performance review, a real conversation. What do they enjoy? What do they find hard? Where do they see themselves in 3 years? Most managers have never been asked these questions by the person above them. And if you don't know the answers, you can't develop them toward anything meaningful. The second is to stop waiting for the role to exist before you start developing someone for it. I see this constantly. There's no vacancy, so there's no urgency, and the development gets pushed back indefinitely. That's when you lose good people because they don't see that there's any opportunity. But the person who's going to step into a senior role in 3 years needs to start growing now, not tomorrow, not when the job is advertised. Find ways to involve your identified people in decisions over their current level, not to burden them, but to actually expand how their perspective on something is when it comes to strategy, that strategic thinking. Give them a problem to solve that has real consequences. You're not preparing them for a title. What you're doing is you're building what they think, and that takes time. You don't have, if you wait until you need it, you need them because it's too late. Everything is going to be rushed. The third thing is getting proper structured development behind them. Now, your attention and your membership, your mentorship matters enormously. Oh my goodness me. I'm going to put my teeth in, I think, enormously. But there is a limit to what internal development alone can deliver. Your middle managers need exposure to thinking and frameworks and people outside your own four walls. That's what the middle management movement provides. And for your senior leaders who are ready to think about the next level, the Executive Leadership Movement program takes it even further. The clubs that will be in the strongest position over the next 5 years are not necessarily the ones with the most resources or the best locations. They're the ones where someone makes a decision right now to treat leadership development as a core part of how the business runs, a priority. That decision doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be made. So head to michellepascoe.com to find out more about the middle management movement and the executive leadership movement, as well as my own private leadership coaching one-on-one. And if this was useful, share it with someone in your network who leads in this industry. And I'll see you next week. Bye.